Alright gamers, welcome back to the stream. Okay, so first of all, today I want to go work on our Nether highway, and because of our actions in the last video, that's going to be a lot easier to pull off. So, quick recap, I had finished going and finishing my gunpowder farm, and off camera I had spent a bunch of time, making it look the way I want, so I'll kind of, when I get over there, I'll show you exactly what it looks like now. But today's task is essentially going to be us looking for ice. I would like to find, ideally, either an ice spikes biome or a icebergs biome. I think I'd prefer to find an icebergs biome, just because I feel like there's more ice in an iceberg than there is in an ice spike. And that being said, I don't think I've seen either one of those two biomes yet. And now that our gunpowder farm is finished, I have more than enough to make all the rockets I'll ever need to do long adventures like this. So to prepare for this, obviously I'm gonna go grab a bunch of rockets. And then I wanna grab probably 1 or 2 shulker boxes. I guess I got them in my ender chest, so I'll probably be fine. But yeah, you can see I kind of worked on the interior just a little bit, cleaning it up, making it look nice. I added these iron bars kind of down here because I thought that looked a little bit nicer than just like no natural light in here. And then the outside is also finished now. I've kind of come up with a name for it that I like. It's kind of imposing just a little bit, so I like the monolith. I think that's kind of just, that's what it is. It's a hexagonal tower. Wait, no, it's octagonal. 8. It's got 8 sides. It's just this octagonal tower coming out of the ocean. And I think if it was taller, it would be slightly more imposing. But it's kind of just a crazy looking structure to just be in the middle of the ocean like that. But I'm really happy with how it turned out. I think it looks good for everything that it is. It is a very basic farm. And I'm just glad that it's not like a bunch of floating platforms. It is inside, but I would rather it look like this on the outside than just like leave it exposed. So, I didn't AFK here very long, and it produced all of this. You can see it's mostly string and gunpowder, but every once in a while we get like a chicken jockey or like a skeleton fall down. Clearly not as much as some of the other items in here. But I'm gonna take 4 stacks of the gunpowder here, and I'm gonna go turn that all into rockets, because there's a real chance that this could take a while. I feel like icebergs and ice spikes biomes are some of the rarer ones that you just don't see as often. And there is a specific direction that I want to go, and I think we're actually going to leave from here, because this actually puts us closer to that way. It's this way. I believe this is... They moved everything around in the F3 menu, and I can't figure out where everything is anymore. That's west. I don't think we've been west very much. When we came over this direction originally, I don't remember what I was looking for, but I went more east when I passed over this beach before I had built this. And I explored like 5,000 blocks that direction. I've barely been this way. And I think starting out from the monolith would make just a lot more sense than starting out from the base, because this is already like 1,000 blocks out. Probably one of the first things I'll do with the Nether highway, obviously it's going to be swapping out the floor with the ice. But then after that, I'll start working on making it look nice. Like, I don't want every tunnel I carve, especially ones that are useful, to just be like bland, just like holes through the world. And I think it would be cool to actually give it some more design that kind of matches the theme that we got going on. When I find this iceberg biome, it's going to be critical that I'm able to get back to it easily, because the Nether highway is going to be one of those things that's just ever expanding. You know, every time I go to a new location that's thousands and thousands of blocks away, I obviously don't want to have to fly there every single time. I would much rather have a nether highway that I can do to cut like at least like 3/4 of the tile off. I think I may have an idea for what the next like real shulker box is gonna be. I'm not gonna name it or anything right now, but I think I'm just gonna make it like rocket materials because it's clear I've got so much stuff for that now. And I honestly, this made a lot more than I thought it was. I probably should have just made some higher duration rockets. I actually don't really know how you do that. Is it... I think it's if you do this. Yes! So you can make higher duration rockets if you use the gunpowder. Maybe I should have just done that. That was kind of a massive waste, but for like long travels, having higher flight durations would probably be good. This is actually, I mean, this is huge because now, for the first time in the series, we've got, you know, renewable rockets. And long-term adventures like this are gonna be way more commonplace. I may go back to the end soon and grab more shulker boxes because I was talking several episodes ago about how the combination of shulker boxes and an ender chest is a really good way to be nomadic, where I won't have to come back to the base hardly ever if I can store, you know, if every single slot in the ender chest is equivalent to a chest, you know, that's so much space all in one block. And I'll hardly need to be, you know, out and about. Or I'll hardly need to be back at the base. All right, that's a stack and a half worth of potatoes. So I think I'm pretty satisfied with that. So I'm gonna make my way back to the monolith. And from there, we're just gonna head west and see what awaits us in the world. Hopefully, I don't actually have to spend too terribly long looking for an ice spikes biome. But with the exception of quite literally the mountains biome that we spawned in, I haven't seen very many cold biomes, which is a little bit of a problem. Almost everywhere that this playthrough has taken us has been mostly hot biomes. And I'm worried it's going to take a while for us to start finding cold biomes again. Yeah, see, you can see the biome changing. You know, we're heading into like normal ocean right now, but we just left warm ocean. And I'm hoping we'll see deep ocean or cold ocean. But all of these chunks are going to be chunks we've never rendered before. So it might take... Oh, there's taiga here. I don't know that we've seen this yet. And, well, I believe taigas are considered to be cold biomes. So this might actually not take as long as I think. Yeah, okay, so this is good. This is actually one of my favorite biomes in all of Minecraft. What is this, an old growth taiga? Yes, old growth spruce taiga. It's one of my favorite biomes in all of Minecraft. I think I'm just gonna follow this for now. Oh! Oh! What? What? That's awesome! That happened so much faster than I thought it would. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and put down our nether portal. I will connect it to the nether highway later. But, wow. That's honestly one of the first times we've gotten lucky enough to find what we needed off the bat. This world has made it very difficult in the past to find exactly the biomes that I've needed to find in both the overworld and in the Nether. And I'm gonna go through the other side and see where the portal ends up. It shouldn't be an area that I recognize. In Warped Forest, there's only 2 that I know of. Where are we actually? We're actually not that far away, all things considered. So before I go back, I just want to see if I can spot You know, this basalt delta is probably the same one that's close to our home portal. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna write down the coordinates of this in here so I know where that is later. Doesn't really even matter until we have ice. So, before I did this episode, I spent some time off camera healing my tools so we could just go ham mining all this. So let's see where to start. There's two different kinds of ice that are in icebergs. There's packed ice, which is most of it, and then there's blue ice. And I don't think either of those is particularly affected by heat. So we should just be able to... This is a different portal than I just came out. Yeah, it is. What? I mean, that's fine, because it's still... Yeah, that's the portal we built. How did we just come out over here? That's bewildering. I don't know why that is, but okay, I guess. Here we go. Oh, let me go grab the ender chest that's over by the other portal. I guess I can reclaim this and take it for later. I need the shulker boxes out of this. So I think we're probably going to be fine. Yeah. Okay. So that being said, I'm going to grab the shulker box and the ender chest, and there's no reason that I can't just go through this portal and see how difficult it is to get back. I'll need to move this one up to this nether roof at some point, but we need to be going... this way and this way. So we need to go that way. Yeah, I'm gonna actually have to go and carve this out because this is not an easy path. Although this looks... Yeah, this is spawn here. There should be up in the roof here an access tunnel. Yes, here we are. Okay. So I'll have to go and mine a path to it. I don't know that I'm going to do that today because I'd rather focus on getting the ice placed. I may actually leave some little 3x3 platforms here at the end so I don't, like, shoot off into the portals unintentionally. Yeah, I think that's going to be what we do. And because we've got our nice efficiency pickaxes, this shouldn't take too terribly long to actually go about doing. Oh, and one of the last things that we will have to also do to this is we're going to have to, every single one of these ice blocks, we're going to have to put a button on top of. And the reason we do that is technically a button is not a spawnable space. So it will stop like zombie pigmen from spawning here and interrupting me when I'm flying down the highway with, you know, a boat. Or actually, if I still chose to use my elytra, you know, I wouldn't run into them on accident either. I didn't think we were going to be done anywhere close to it, so maybe after I'm done, there's a few other buildings that I just kind of sticky notes here, that maybe it would be worth just going to. That's one key piece of it that we need to work out. There will be more ice in a second. But actually, we'll bring it down. I will say, I feel like Nether highways are more of a multiplayer thing. Like, when people make them, they usually make them for the good of the community, or like, their base members and such, so that they can have an easier time getting to like critical structures like farms and stuff. And I suppose that's what I'm using it for too, but you know, it's less of a Nether highway and more of a Nether sidewalk, because it's just me. There's nobody else on this world but me. So this is honestly probably excessive, because, you know, rockets would be more than enough. It's just, I know I could make this playthrough far more efficient if I was to actually go about constructing a real Nether highway. Okay, so that's the first path, and I'll start labeling this all with signs and stuff. The second one is going to take quite a bit more because it's farther away, and that's the end portal. Because that way is gunpowder farm, this way is the end portal. And then when I make that extra portal for the big cave over there, I shouldn't have to make it go too terribly far. I guess I don't need to be using my Silk Touch pickaxe anymore. It's kind of getting a little bit low there. I had healed all my tools before I started the stream. Oh, actually, speaking of that, that's another thing that now that we've got the gunpowder farm done, I think that's going to be one of the next farms we build, is a real XP farm. Because I'm kind of sick of, you know, yeah, the zombie spawner is good enough to, like, actually get our tools healed when we absolutely need it, but I'd much rather go and have a way more efficient XP farm for healing our tools. And I think there's two different ones that I may make. One of my favorite ones that me and my friends make is a guardian farm, which is a pain in the ass to do because it involves draining an entire ocean monument and then making some tanks of water where the ocean monument used to be. So it's basically the only place that guardians can spawn. That one sucks to make, but the other one also sucks to make, and that would be an Enderman farm in the end. There's a if I was to make an Enderman farm, there's a specific design that I would use, because I've never seen a farm that's more efficient than this specific farm. But it's a pain in the ass to make, because it involves going down into the depths of the void. Like, the very lowest point in the world you can build at. It's extremely dangerous to make. It's more dangerous than the Guardian farm is. And that's what's making me, like, lean towards making the Guardian farm first. Because I kind of want to do both of them anyway, but it just feels like a smarter move to do a Guardian farm for now instead of the End farm. Because the End farm is just far too dangerous for me to justify doing in hardcore right now. Okay, with that is all of the existing Nether highway done, with the exception of Button. is. So we'll have to do that at some point. I'm probably not going to do that today, and that's probably going to be something that I do off camera, because that's kind of boring. So here's what I think I want to do now. I think this is pretty close down this way to where the Iceberg portal is. So let me actually check my little post-it note here. I think I could make a bridge off pretty easily here. And then that means I just have to go this way until I hit 375 on the Z coordinate. And then I go directly straight down, and the Iceberg portal should be straight under that. That's not too terribly far away, but I just want to at least get, even if I haven't carved out the whole tunnel, I want to at least get a 2x2 or a 1x2 tunnel carved here, so when I do actually go back and make it easy to travel, it's already there and I don't have to figure out where it is again. Oh, I just noticed we're basically there. 372. Whoa, I didn't mean to do that. That's 375 right there. So directly under this block should be the portal. Yeah, right there. That's awesome. Okay. So I'm going to go destroy this portal, and then I'm going to put it up there. Okay, and then there's my flint and steel. That should still connect back to the iceberg, so let's just check to make sure. Okay, great. Actually, while I'm here, I'm going to go grab this other portal so I can go put that in the end cave. Now, while this is not optimal, and I have to spend some time actually carving this out and placing ice, I'm probably not going to do that today. But I am very glad that this is now hooked up to the Nether system, so I don't have to go troubleshoot finding ice every single time. So off camera, I'll probably spend a bunch of time going and making this path a little bit better, doing what I just did in this episode to the other portals. But for now, I want to go to the end portal here, go find the cave, and then put another portal in there. Because it takes a while to find it. It's like in some random opening off to the side of it. Although I think I'm making good progress. This seems extremely familiar. Okay, so I don't really care where it is, and this portal should be far enough away from the one that's actually next to the end portal to the point where it won't matter. At least I hope it doesn't. I don't want this portal over here to affect the other one. But it'll make it way easier to get back here in the future. So let's see where this puts us. It shouldn't be too far away. Okay. All right, I know where we are, but I do need to move the portal upwards. So I'm gonna go ahead and tear this one down, mark the coordinates, and then go carve a path to it. Okay, so 107 is this block here. You take it to minus 146. Looking at 147, it should be this right here. That's nice. See, I didn't even have to do barely any work to connect that. And now if I light this, this should connect back to the portal in the cave. Awesome. Okay. That's great. So now what I want to do is I just want to make sure for certain that I didn't screw up the end portal over here. I just looked at an Enderman. Okay. I'm just going to check this on the chance that he despawns and goes somewhere else. Okay. That's all good to go. So that means we've got, I think we've got 4 portals hooked up to this. We've got end portal, we've got the big cave, we've got gunpowder farm, and we've got home. That's a pretty good, you know, little system we got going here. not everything's like too far away from each other, so the nether system is actually quite small at the moment. But when we start going thousands and thousands of blocks away, it's going to be critical that we expand upon this. So I guess as the last thing I'm going to do today, I might as well demonstrate how this works with the boat. So let me go back home, which of course is right here, which is awesome. And I'll show you just how fast it goes with the boat. It's either just as fast or faster than traveling it with the elytra. Alright, so while I'm here, I'll make this look nicer later, but I'm gonna go ahead and have a chest for boats ready there. When you put down a boat on ice, I know most people know this already, but you go fucking like supersonic speed. Like, that's gotta be at least as fast as the elytra is. Like, look at that. We're already all the way to the end just by doing that. Oh, see, that's why interesting. So you have to wait in the portal for a second. If you're in a boat, you go instantly through. I actually think I know why that is. I think they made a change a few versions back when they made it so ender pearls could be thrown through a portal, and they basically act as a chunk loader. So I wonder if the same thing is happening with boats. Huh. I was completely unaware that they did that. Interesting. Well, okay, clearly this was not enough to stop the boat, so maybe I'll have to pull it out one block more here. But yeah, and I can just go all the way back home within all but like maybe 10 seconds. And that's like, I think it's like 2,000 blocks away is where the portal is. I'm already home. That's why you do it. That's why you do it like this. And I think with that, I'm good to go ahead and call it. So I will see you guys in the next one.